Messy gang on the tube, Hoes watching they moves, I said it's messy. Queen of the gossip, queen of the gossip, queen of the gossip. Yeah. Queen of the gossip. Okay, Drizzy.
Okay, let's talk about it. First of all, let me tell y'all something. I love me some spicy gossip, you know what I'm saying? When I'm not talking about something, it's because I don't know, it's not giving to me, at least, yeah? So the topic that I want to talk about, okay, have to do with my mother. And I don't want you coming here telling me, Drizzy, don't talk about it. The reason why I'm talking about it is because a lot of you sent it to me on my DM. And I talked a little bit about it, but it seemed like some of y'all are not watching my videos, all of it. And that really hurt my feelings. And this right here is the video, okay? The thumbnail that I'm talking about, it's on my mother's page. And I told you that that is no tea, that is some spit. Because what my mother is saying there, to be honest, it's something that I think I was the person to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because Priscy and JUX, whatever they're in TZ, they don't be hanging around friends for them to know the tea and go give it to blogs. Because that is what happened. You make friendships in the industry in TZ, the next thing you seeing is your tea on blogs. Sometimes it is the same celebrities who be giving their own tea to the blogs because they want a trend. You know what I'm saying? In TZ, negative drama sell like crazy, so they thrive off of that. So since JUX have this demographic who love him very much, and Priscy, and nobody really know about them, wherever there's something about them, you know what I'm saying, it come off in English and they can't interpret it because they don't understand it, so they don't really talk about it. So now, since they want to cash in on JP fans, that's why they've decided to come up with this, okay? So, if you watched my video from the first day, I talked about Zuchu and Diamond and the breakup, the first videos, you must have heard me saying that on the comments, there were people who have already started saying that JUX should really be careful of Diamond, because sometimes Diamond's cheating might make some people feel like because they're friends, he might be influenced to do what Diamond is doing. I remember receiving dragging on the comment section of where some people are saying that JUX is a grown-ass man who knows how to, run his own private life with his own family, that can never happen. And I totally agree that JUX know exactly what he was wanting, and him separating from stopping hanging out with Diamond and some friends in TZ, like it's one way or another of keeping the peace, because there's just too much drama that goes with that. And now he's a married man, he's focusing more on his family, right? And now my mother decided to make it like she received some tea from Nigeria. According to what my mother said, she said, I received some tea from Nigeria. Somebody told me that Yabo and Priscy are very pissed with how Diamond is treating Zuchu, that they don't want JUX to hang out with the Diamond because Diamond is not a good person. How can you treat a woman that you're married to like that? And now they're worried that JUX might be influenced with Diamond, or because Diamond is a bad person to his woman, he's a womanizer. And if JUX and Diamond continue this friendship, it might give JUX bad reviews. People might think that wherever they're hanging out, they're cheating because Diamond is a well-known serial cheater. And she went out of her way to make a phone call at Fatima's shop, right? You all know the number is there. So when she called, it is Fatima's quote-unquote worker that received the phone call. Again, I will not say if it was Fatma's worker or not, right? Because later, the same person who she called that happened to be Fatma's worker, according to her, told her, Fatma cannot pick this, just kindly call it with WhatsApp, she'll be able to pick it, right? So that's when she tried to call Fatma, Fatma hung up immediately when Fatma heard that it was Mai. But let's go back to the conversation between Mai and Fatma's worker. So she said, hi, how you doing? The lady said, I'm good. And say, oh, is Fatma around? No, it's not around. What's up? Mai pretend like she wanted to buy something, like she's a customer. And she said, oh, but there's some tea that I'm hearing. Is it true that JUX's mother-in-law is refusing him to continue the friendship with Diamond because Diamond is a well-known serial cheater? And the lady was first confused because she was like, what are you talking about? And then the lady asked my mother, is it on blogs what you're asking me? And my mother said, yeah, it's all over the internet. The internet are tearing them up, that they're stopping this friendship between Diamond and JUX. And the lady kept on saying, oh, I don't know about that, to be honest. I don't know. Like, why would they do that? A lady, the supposed worker said that. We still don't know if it's Fatma's worker or not, right? And because the difference between this phone call and Zuchu's uncle, in quote, phone call, it is my mother stayed online and Zuchu's mother came in and picked the call. Like, it wasn't a hang-up. But with Fatma and this alleged worker, my mother hanged the phone and then called now on WhatsApp, called Fatma, right? Because with Zuchu's mother, she continued to talk with the person that my mother was talking to when she lied that she was a doctor. But with this one, my mother continued talking to this lady, and this lady at some point said, why would they want to do that? You know, my mother know how to finesse herself into some people. If you're not sharp enough in your mind, you might end up saying something that you're not supposed to say. The lady go ahead and say, oh, are they married to us or we are married to them? Like, we are the one who married them. They did not marry us, so why would they dictate to us on what we should do? That is the only bad statement that lady said that, in my opinion, I feel like she had no business commenting on. First of all, point blank period, when she found out that was a blogger, or because she did not introduce herself as a blogger, when she found out that this person started asking about JUX and the mother-in-law, but not about the clothing, she would have just hung up and say, yo, lady, I don't know what you want, but out here I'm selling clothes. I'm not here to talk about, but I'm thinking that probably these are some of the things that these celebrities don't think to tell their workers, that if somebody call you and they want, but I feel like that's just logic. If somebody is calling me right now and they're asking me something about my boss, I will tell them that that's not my business. I don't know anything to do with that. Then again, I repeat, I don't know for sure if that lady that spoke is Fatma's worker. And then my mother hung up, and now my mother called Fatma. And she said, hi, Fatma, how you doing? Fatma said, I'm good. What do you want? Because Fatma don't know who she's talking to. And when my mother just say, oh, it's my mother from my TV, Fatma was like, you like to get into people's business. And then she hung up. And that was it. But my mother, according to what she's saying that somebody gave her this tea from Nigeria that the mother-in-law of JUX doesn't want JUX to continue the friendship with Diamond because Diamond is a well-known serial cheater, serial Casanova. Again, do I believe this story? Not really, but I'm not saying that Yabon did not say this, even though she doesn't rub me like a someone, like they're trying to paint this picture like Yabo is this one dictator mother-in-law where they're telling JUX what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Is this something that can worry mother-in-law a little bit? Absolutely, yes. This was Priscilla's, this was Juma Jux's best man in the wedding. Again, they're friends, right? And that can also make somebody judge somebody's judgment. Like, how can you be friends with somebody who is teaching women like this? But these women know exactly what they're getting themselves into. I'm just speaking my mind, okay? And that was just about it. So on the comment section, people are like, why are you starting drama with this family? Like, this family don't even be saying or talking to bloggers or doing anything even when they're in TZ. Like, why are you starting with the drama? Here's my thing. I think they've noticed that, hold on a minute, this is a big cash cow out here. Like Juma Jux and Priscilla are algorithm. And nobody really be talking about them, you know, here in TZ. And their fans are very curious to know about them, that every time they're mentioned, their fans always want to know. So that's why my mother just went around social media and looked, or rather she sat down, because she's a very calculative bitch, in my opinion. And then she's like, or saw the videos with Yabo and Priscy going out, and now she's finding out that JUX is in Nigeria. And then she's like, I wonder if Priscilla's mother really is cool with the fact that Diamond is a serial cheater and Diamond is with JUX are friends. That is how she came up with that story. I can bet y'all that nobody told my mother this, at least from Nigeria. Maybe somebody can say, oh, you know, I'm a family member, but trust you me. Trust you me. Nobody from a family member would say that. Okay? That's just my opinion. That right there was what was said. I don't think it was something really necessary to talk about, because I talked about it on my previous video, but because I kept on hearing comments, seeing DMs, or what's going on, can you tell us? This is exactly what was said there. There's no salt, no sugar, nothing I added there. That is exactly how it went. We haven't heard from JUX's sister. She hasn't replied, and that's just about it, okay?